It's the Shatkin First Down pregame show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special guest, Buffalo Bills alum Eric Wood. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
Welcome to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. I'm Rich Gaenzler. Lots to do today. We're going to talk about the Thanksgiving nail-biter against Detroit. But, hey, the Bills ended up 2-0 at Ford Field, right? We'll talk about that. We're, of course, going to talk the Patriots. We'll get the Mafia in, including a very special friend of the night joining us in the Mafia. And we're going to talk to Bills color analyst and former Pro Bowl center Eric Wood on the show. But first, we have to go around the water cooler. All right, here we are, Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin. We're going to talk about the Thanksgiving game against the Lions. Of course, 2 games at Ford Field in a very short week. And Josh, who knows if he's at 100% or was or is now. He had full practice this week for the first time since the elbow injury, which is promising. We'll get into that as we talk about the Patriot game. Let's talk a little bit about the Detroit game. I'm going to mention this a little bit, Jared, in the Mafia segment about patience with the roster, with all things being considered. All the injuries, 3/4 of your secondary out. Edmonds out at one time, Milano out at another time, now Von Miller out. Interior defensive lineman out. Offensive lineman out at one time or another. Does the fan base have to be a little bit more patient with this team? I know they've been getting crushed at times on social media. Do we need to be a little bit more patient?
I think so. I mean, you look at social media throughout the game, people are ready to fire everybody on the team, ready to fire McDermott, ready to fire Dorsey, and then we come back and we have 2 drives at the end of the game where we, and a close game like that, it happens. The NFL is full of good players, and we're on to our 3rd and 4th roster spots. I think that people do have to be a little more patient with the Bills. I think that was actually a really nice win for us.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think there were 2 drives in that game that were most disappointing to me, and those would have been the ones after the safety when they get the ball back and they basically go 3 and out, and the one after the Badgley missed field goal and they go 3 and out and basically allow Detroit back into the game.
Yeah, and it seems like in that position, why don't you go to what's comfortable? Go to Stephon Diggs a little bit, because you get a safety there and you score a touchdown, you almost put the nail in the coffin. And instead, it was far different. We let Detroit right back in that game.
Let's talk about some individuals from that game. I thought, and I know he's, again, I got to bring up social media again, but Isaiah McKenzie keeps getting killed by people, and I don't know why. He made big play after big play after big play and saved the Bills on a number of occasions in that game.
Yeah, 96 yards and a touchdown. That's all you can ask for from your slot receiver. And he got the ball in the end around. He's a gadget player. I think they should start getting him involved in the offense a little more. He did have a lot of drops early, so I understood a little bit why they were getting on him. But if he plays like he did in that game, we can have a nice weapon for us.
The big players made big plays when they needed it, right? I mean, they were slow in the first half. And maybe that's an issue that they're dealing with when they're looking at film and they're doing self-analysis in terms of these slow starts in these games, that they're forced to score a lot of points because the defense is obviously down in their depth chart, but they're forced to do it late in games. So I'm hoping that they're looking at those first halves and figuring out why their best players aren't playing to the level that we expect them to, right?
Yeah, and I also think Allen's elbow is an issue. I really do. Even Tony Romo saying it during the broadcast that when he's throwing sidearm, he's letting go of the ball, he's feeling it a little bit in pain. I think that's true, and I think a full week of practice and preparation is going to help his elbow. I think he's only going to get healthier from here on out, but he's gutting through a lot of these performances. You just got to target Stephon Diggs right away, even if there's people on him, because you saw what happened at the end of that game.
I'm glad you brought up Josh, because I thought it was really a tale of 2 halves when it came to Josh. In the first half, there were a couple of runs, one in particular when the Bills were in the red zone and he ran and he was going towards the near sideline, and typically he would dive for the pylon on that play. Instead, he ran out of bounds at about the 3-ish yard line. I feel like someone's telling him perhaps to be a little bit more careful, at least over the last couple of weeks because of the injury. In the second half, he was different. He was far more aggressive. He took some big hits off of runs on those plays. So I'm wondering what, again, the difference even individually is with him with the start of the game and from halftime on, because there have been 2 different Josh Allens.
Yeah, so I think coaching is probably a reason why he doesn't dive for that pylon. I think they're trying to keep him healthy, which is really important. But I think when you need him to play hero ball, he's going to play hero ball. That's what he does. So you can't take that out of his game. We're not going to win too many games if you take that out of his game.
Ed Oliver, again, made a lot of great plays in that game. He continues to up his game. We're going to continue to need him in the middle of that defensive line.
So I was in Wisconsin this weekend, and my uncle, who's a Packers fan, he just keeps saying, 91 keeps showing up, 91 keeps showing up. And he said it when we played the Packers against, and then he said he watched the Browns game. And I started to watch Oliver a little closer this game. He really is kind of dominating in that interior defensive line. He's really starting to come along.
And he will be big, and we'll talk about this in the Patriots segment, about him versus whoever plays center for the Patriots, because if David Andrews isn't back, advantage at Oliver, but we'll talk about that. Lastly, I want to talk about the DBs a little bit. I thought Dane Jackson might have had his worst game. Now, granted, Amon St. Brown is a heck of a player, one of the best in the league for sure, but Dane repeatedly got beat.
And that's 2 straight games, right?
Yeah.
It's Justin Jefferson beat, or 3 straight games, because Amari Cooper was having his way with him too. So I think Dane Jackson is good as a number 2 corner. I think we got to get Trey White back in the lineup and healthy, because we're really getting thrown on these number 1 receivers that, well, yeah, they're getting open pretty well. Even if you're putting a safety over the top, they're getting open right away, and they're able to run after the catch. And St. Brown had a touchdown, and he was pretty much doing whatever he wanted the whole game.
Yeah, Taron Johnson had no answer for him on that touchdown. That's another guy who you expect to be fantastic, who had a rough game in that Detroit game as well. Okay, great job as always. Eric Woods coming up next, the Bills color analyst on radio. He's all over social media. He's an author, former Pro Bowl Bill center. Comes up next on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
I am so happy with my experience that I had at I Smile Spas today. Got my teeth professionally whitened. I have months of results in less than an hour. No pain, seriously, not even a sting. They're not sensitive. You leave with a kit to continue your whitening. Absolutely incredible. I'm so happy I ever did this. I can't stop smiling.
Western New York. Smile again with confidence. Call 43-SMILE today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
If there's one thing I love more than Western New York, it's the people of Western New York. So all my friends from Buffalo, Hamburg, and Niagara Falls, Lockport, West Seneca, and Grand Island, where would you love to have dinner tonight?
Brussels, of course. Brussels, of course.
One more time.
Brussels, of course.
Thank you, Western New York, for being my guest and letting us do the rest.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show, joined by my good friend and great friend of Bills Mafia globally, Eric Wood, former Pro Bowl center for the Bills, and obviously the color radio analyst on the Bills radio network as well from his home. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning, Bull. It's an honor to join you in the basement, as I'm down in my basement as well. This is the beauty of post-COVID recording studios at home.
Okay, so let's get the book out of the way. It is a great time to holiday shop, Bills Mafia. So what are we buying? Eric Wood's new read, a relatively new read, just out, what, a couple of weeks ago?
About a month or so ago,
yeah.
But yeah, Tackle What's Next. Forward written by Sean McDermott, written by me.
It's a good segue into the current Bills having to get over a sort of a catastrophic injury that you went through to come back and play. What does it take? Is this more mental than it is physical for Trey?
You know, it's hard to say because we're not on the insides of that. We haven't gotten any reports of a setback, but we don't know along the way what all went down. Each and every ACL is different. I remember I did my ACL in 2011. That was right around the time when Adrian Peterson came back from an ACL after 6 months and set the rushing record. That league led the league in rushing. And so everyone said, okay, an ACL is a 6 months injury. Okay, now everyone starts rushing back from surgery and they're tearing their ACL again. Now guys are getting more and more patient, but ultimately it's Trey's decision. And for whatever reason, he hasn't felt comfortable. And prior to this knee injury, there was never a lick of selfishness ever displayed from him. So I can't imagine that this is a selfish decision with the ACL, if that makes sense.
Well, thank you for making time for us in your schedule, my friend. And if I don't talk to you before then, and I hope I do, absolutely a great holiday season for you and the fam and your extended family as well. And thanks for being a big friend of ours.
Yeah, my pleasure, Bull. Anytime, brother.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
man.
hope you guys have a great holiday season as well.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. Eric Wood on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Back with the Mafia right after this.
What we're able to do is really restore how you used to feel when you can eat food, when you can smile. So I think being able to transform how someone faces the world, that's really one of the main things that drew me to dentistry.
It's bad going through life having to cover your face because you're embarrassed of your teeth.
So you can really impact people's lives way beyond just, fixing a tooth.
It literally changed my life.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us for a free consultation.
Family is the most important to us above everything else. 34 Group is a general construction company.
We had a part in rebuilding the community. We choose Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York because they are reliable.
It's just great coverage, and we have a great relationship with the folks at Highmark. We want our legacy to just be that we were good people that loved our community.
It is definitely a love affair, I can tell you that right now.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Thanks to Eric Wood for joining us this week. It's time to go in the pocket. All right, we're in the pocket with All-Pro Arena League quarterback from the Albany Empire, Sam Castronova. He joins us every single week. We've seen Mac Jones. We know what he's capable of. I thought he had a pretty good game against the Vikings this past week on Thanksgiving. What do you make of Mac Jones? What do the Bills have to do to stop him this week?
Yeah, Mac Jones is like the perfect game manager, I would say. Not going to kill you with his athleticism or anything, but he's going to make the right play 9 times out of 10, and he's probably not going to turn the ball over. So you got to be smart against him and then be disciplined.
I was going to say, even if you played a little bit of an umbrella against him, he's not going to beat you over the top. He doesn't have that kind of an arm, right?
No, I don't think he has a very good arm at all, but that's just me personally.
But he made some really good throws.
He looked good. He looked good
against
on
the Vikings, right? Yeah.
He definitely did look good on Thanksgiving. So we definitely got to come ready to play.
I was going to say, when did he look good? When there was no pass rush, when he could sit there in the pocket and scan the field and go through his progressions.
If he's on time and in rhythm, he's a good player. But when you can disrupt that, that's when things can start to go awry a little bit.
Yeah. So he's still a young guy. Tell me about what it's like when he's looking at that defense, play after play after play. What is he trying to diagnose as he's sitting there in shotgun or under center typically?
I mean, he's just trying to diagnose where the linebackers are. If he's getting a blitz, if it's a runner pass, sometimes you hear Tony Romo talk about kill. If he's got that option up at the line of scrimmage. So he's just trying to get a flow of the game and diagnose what's going on back there.
Yeah, what are they saying when they go like this? They're like, alert, alert! What does that typically mean, or what might it mean?
Sometimes it can mean that a pass play was called and you're changing it to a run. Sometimes it can mean a run play was called and you're killing it to a pass. So that's basically what that means.
And can sometimes it mean it's a dummy, like just to throw the defense off?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think so.
All right, great job, Sam. Thank you. We're going to see you in the round table. All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Here's the round table. Members of the Mafia. Sam, you just saw in the pocket. You know Jared, obviously. Here's Joe Heary, friends of the night from downtown Buffalo. Allentown is where he's based, with an incredible group of folks that we're going to talk about here in a moment. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
And for your
Thanks
fandom.
for having me.
Yeah. And Jason is here as well, wearing his Bills jersey, but we understand you're from northern New Jersey originally?
Originally, absolutely.
So how are you a Bills fan and not some fan of somebody down there? Or are you?
We're saying as long as you're not a Jets fan, you're okay up here in Buffalo.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
absolutely.
And we'll get them again soon.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that when we get closer to it. But we have another divisional opponent we want to talk about. But before that, Joe, talk to folks a little bit about what you do and how they can get involved. Of course, 'tis the season, right? Especially for you folks. There's never a good or bad season for what you do, but especially when the winter is here in Buffalo, it's especially taxing, certainly, for the people that you serve, right?
Well, exactly. We're in this community service, and we're there 365 days a year serving meals to people. We serve breakfast Monday through Friday, dinners 7 days a week. And we need volunteers to come in and serve food, prepare meals that we send out the door, help distribute clothing. There's 100 different ways people can help and get involved. Go to www.friendsandnightpeople.com, sign up to volunteer on our online calendar. You can do that, or you can just make a gift, and we'll put that to work in the community.
Awesome. Appreciate for what you do. And obviously, I'm assuming there are televisions when the Bills games are on, people are watching to root them on as well, those members of the Mafia.
It's always on the radio in the background.
Perfect.
For sure.
That works. That's fine. All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about the Bills. And Jason, I'll start with you.
Let's do it.
Get you on the spot right out of the gate.
Let's do it.
Do we need to have, and I know there's been a lot of frustration on social media with this team. I'm guilty of it. I think probably everybody's kind of guilty of it, right?
The expectations for sure.
Yeah, should the fan base be a little bit more patient considering the fact that they're playing with so many second, third, fourth-string players?
Absolutely. I think what people in Buffalo forget also is having a franchise quarterback is so rare in the NFL, and having a top 3 guy week in, week out, you have an opportunity to win, which, going back to some of those other teams in the New Jersey, if you will, they don't have guys like that, and it just puts you at a whole different level. So having Josh, I think, knowing that the foundation is there, you can kind of take a breath, relax. It's a long season, and as long as you struggle now and not in the postseason, I think it'll be okay.
Joe, let's get you involved. What did you make of the Detroit game Thanksgiving? Obviously, it was back and forth, probably a little bit tighter than any of us hoped it would have been, right?
I think it's tough on any team to have to do that turnaround. I think it's almost a little unfair, but we got a really strong team, and now we just kind of hunker down, we make it to the playoffs, and then we roll through everybody.
Well, the bonus too is, and Jared, I'll go with you on this one, is the fact that yes, we are starting to get healthy, but we need to make that sort of routine where we get healthy and then stay healthy, because it seems like when we get to that point, guys get hurt again.
Right. I mean, I do love the depth we have on our team, though. People are able to go down, and we're able to have guys step up defensively and play pretty good games. We definitely are going to struggle a little bit without Von Miller for a couple of weeks coming up here, but I think guys are going to step up and make some pretty big plays. And I truly like that game by the Bills, because I think we found a different way to win, and I like how we did that this week.
And Sam, to quarterback point, the big players made big plays when they needed to make big plays, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not many people can make the throw that he made to end the game, and I just wish we would maybe get Stephon Diggs involved a little sooner. He's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. I don't think he should have 3 targets through 3 quarters, but I don't know if that's on Josh or on the offensive coordinator, but I'd like to see him get more involved, because always good thing happens when you throw him the ball.
And I'll tell you what, people have been hammering Dorsey as well. And think about those 3 calls in a row. The deep ball that digs over the middle with, just an incredible throw and catch. Mm-hmm. Just the concentration. People are talking about the throw. Yeah. The catch was pretty incredible, too. It was millimeters from being tipped, right? And then the 2 runs by Josh to get another 15 yards or whatever it was to get them in range for Bass. Really good play calls, really smart, effective, and really good use of the play clock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we go into this 4 of 6 games against the division. It's only going to get more testy as we go. Bears and Bengals are the other 2 in the last 6, so we'll go from there. Let's get your picks in real quick, and then we'll go into the trivia. All right, Joe, what do you think of this game? Who's going to win, and what's the score going to be?
I'd like to see the Bills get back above 40 points. Those first few games of the season were exciting. That's what everybody in Buffalo came to expect. So Bills 42, New England 17.
Love it. Jared?
Well, that's a big score. I'm going to say Bills 28, New England 21.
Okay, Sam?
I'm going to go Bills 31, New England 21.
Okay, Jason?
I think it's 24-17. Belichick's tough at home. I think they get the win, but I think it's a little tighter than we want.
Yeah, and they might be getting healthy like we are too. It's going to be very interesting. We'll talk a lot more about the Patriots coming up in a moment. But right now, it's time to do the 2-minute drill. Okay, trivia time. If you've seen the show, you know what happens. You guys are working as a team. 3 trivia questions. They all have to do somehow with the Bills and the Patriots. So here we go. Ready? Former Pats coach, national champion, Super Bowl champion, got his first NFL coaching job in 1984 as the Bills defensive back coach. Who is he?
It's not Bill O'Brien, is it?
No.
Bill Parcells?
Nope. National champion in college, 2-time.
As a player or coach?
Coach.
Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll's right. Way to go, Jared. Yes, USC won the national championship, won the Super Bowl with the Seahawks, obviously, and got his first pro NFL job with the Bills back in 1984. Kind of a cool trivia question. Okay, question number 2. This is multiple choice. We don't do this very often, multiple choice. How many times did the Bills beat Tom Brady? 3, 4, or 5? Come to a consensus. What do you think?
3.
I think it's only 3.
I'm going to go with 3.
Yeah.
3's right. Jared's carrying the team. How's your back? You all right? You good?
We're good.
And finally, during the Belichick era, pre-Josh Allen, how many starting quarterbacks did the Bills use?
Oof.
Was it 14, 16, or 18?
It was 18.
Yeah, 18. I would go the more.
3 for 3. Tito's Joe from Short Tito's at Main Street for all you guys. You guys were no help whatsoever. Good job, you guys. But you will be welcome back. Don't worry. Joe, one more time on the website and how people can get involved.
Yeah, so friendtonightpeople.com. You can find us online. You can give us a call, 884-5375. But really what we need this time of year are donations of boots, gloves, winter jackets, and hoodies. Things that really help keep people warm when they're outside.
It is a season of giving. Not only give to the folks that you love, but also to people that are in need as well around the community. We're so good at that. It's Bills Mafia, certainly, and the City of Good Neighbors. Joe, thank you again for what you do. And guys, thanks for being part of the Mafia. Great job. Okay, we'll come back after a short break. You will rejoin me. We're going to talk the Patriots after this on the Shatkin F.I.R.S.T Buffalo pregame show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin, the clinical director here at the new Shatkin Dental Health Postgraduate Dental Residency Program. For years, I've felt there's been a need to help those patients who just can't afford quality care but want to be treated in a private dental office setting. Shatkin Dental Health will save you 20 to 30% on the procedures you need without compromising the care you deserve.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile and receive a dental cleaning and x-rays for only $43. And as always, consultations are free.
Your kitchen is the heart of your home, so make it what you've always wanted.
Empire Granite Marble Quartz has everything you need to start your kitchen countertop makeover, all within your budget. Offering 24 months, 0% financing for a limited time. Empire has the largest indoor full slab showroom in Western New York, so visit the showroom today.
Make your dreams a reality with luxury you can afford.
Mini dental implants are life-changing. We have patients that come in with partial dentures, loose teeth, cracked teeth, and in pain, and they're able to leave and we can restore teeth on that same day sometimes. People are smiling, they're chewing, they're eating better than ever, and it's all thanks to mini dental implants.
These implants, these are God-given teeth in an hour or two. They're that good.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
Final segment of the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin. Here we go. Big stretch of divisional games coming up, right? We got the Patriots twice. We get the Jets and the Dolphins again. That's 4 of the last 6. Bears and Bengals, the other 2 games in the last 6. So these are crucial. It's a crucial stretch of the season. Let's talk about the Patriots on the road. Obviously, Thursday night going to be a cold game. No weather to deal with as far as we know. And let's start off with injuries to the Bills first. Miller probably not going to play. Dawkins is iffy. He did not practice earlier in the week with the ankle, which was weird because if you watched the game or saw any of it, near the end of the run, he's like jumping at the end of the Thanksgiving game, jumping around. You're like, wait a minute, what's the deal? Is he? But apparently he's hurt enough to not have practiced. Maybe they're holding him back, letting him rest up so he can be ready for the game. On the flip side of that, Russo, full practice. Epinesa for full practice. Morse, full practice. Edmonds, full practice. Had to have those guys back in this game.
Yeah, I think it's important to get those guys healthy. I think it's more important to get those guys healthy than the guys who are injured, to be honest, because we miss Edmonds in the middle that last game a lot, even though Klein played awesome.
Yeah, he did.
But Morris at center. Center's probably the most important part of the offensive line to the quarterback. It's nice to start getting a little healthier right now.
What will the Patriots do if Deion Dawkins does not play with Matthew Judon, the leading sacker in the league?
I mean, that's scary. Don't get me wrong, but Josh Allen's a mobile quarterback, and he always seems to make the first guy miss. But I think Judon is an awesome player, and he might have a little bit of his way with the left tackle this week.
If he flips over and plays that side, for sure. The one good thing in favor of the Bills is that the Patriots' defense is not good against mobile running quarterbacks historically.
Yeah, no, Michael Vick used to go off after him too. I think Belichick he has his problems with Lamar Jackson. You're right, he does have problems with some mobile quarterbacks, and Allen's had huge games against him too. So yeah, that is good news.
What do you think John Brown brings, if anything, to this team's offense?
I mean, I don't think he's going to be ready by Thursday to play, but he's had some awesome games versus the Patriots, including that play where he turned Stephon Gilmore around. So, I would love it if he was back out there. I think he does bring a familiar face to Josh Allen and a comfortability throwing, and I think that would be nice if he could get back on the field for us.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to see Dawson Knox involved a little bit more than he has been. I'm just really unsure as to why he's not been used more in the offense. But let's flip it over to the Patriots offense. And obviously they are powered by a very powerful running duo.
Yeah, Stevenson and Harris, right? And they were a great duo last year. Stevenson is even a better player this year. He's been really phenomenal for them. He's their bell cow right now, and I thought it would be Harris going into the season, but it seems like Stevenson is really taking over that role.
And Stevenson is fantastic, not only running the ball at 245 pounds, but he's a leading receiver with 50 catches coming into this game, which is really remarkable. So Mac Jones has that. The two guys that we mentioned have combined for 1,000 yards rushing. And then in the pass game, look, we've talked about it throughout the show. When Mac Jones has time, now granted, we don't know if Cannon and Wynn and Andrews are going to play in this game, which I think tells everybody that you got to pressure him, because it seems like when he's under pressure, he kind of crumbles, right? So when he's not under pressure, he can sit there in the pocket and look around and make his progressions. He's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, at one point in the game last week, I think he was 12 for 13 for like 150 yards and a touchdown, and he looked really, really good. He's a smart quarterback. He's cerebral, and he can pick you apart. But when you have to make him throw the ball with his weak arm, you have to make him throw the ball into the wind, and you have to pressure him. You really do, because if you can get to him, he's going to crumble pretty quickly.
Very interesting, too. We've talked about, and every piece of multimedia in terms of covering the Bills has talked about the Bills' woes in the red zone. The Patriots are also bad. They're the second worst team in the red zone in the NFL. So who's going to break in the end will determine who wins this game, right?
Yeah, I think red zone's usually coaching. So let's see what Ken Dorsey can do versus a Matt Patricia offense, someone who wasn't even an offensive coordinator. So I think we do have the upper hand in the red zone this week. And we looked a little better last week. I think we score another touchdown if Josh doesn't get that ball tipped and intercepted.
Yeah, I think we're all wondering what Patriot team are we going to see this week, right?
Yeah, they've had some really good games. They played pretty well versus the Jets, even though Zach Wilson, but they didn't play that well offensively. But last week they did play well offensively versus a pretty good Minnesota Vikings team. So, I mean, they're 6-5. That's not a terrible record. So they could play this game pretty close.
Yeah, I like their defensive backs. I like Jonathan Jones and Jack Jones, really good players in the back end. McCourty, obviously the seasoned veteran back there to kind of run the ship. He's kind of our Poyer or Hyde on their back end, right?
Yeah, he is. McCourty is awesome. He's been awesome for years. He's been on a couple of those Super Bowl rosters, and you keep thinking he's going to retire, and somehow he just suits back up there and plays at a Pro Bowl level. And also Duggar, I think, has been playing well when he's been put in the game. He's a talented player. So, yeah, they have a pretty good defense.
Yeah, interesting to see how it comes out. You've already made your prediction. Time for me to make mine. This is going to be a tight one, but I still think the Bills are the better team in the end. And with the number of players we just mentioned getting healthy, even despite Von Miller not playing, I have a gut feeling Deion Dawkins does play in this game. I think he needs to play in this game, and he might gut it through to get there. But my gut says he's going to. I think the Bills win this game 27, weird secondary score 19. 27-19, the Bills beat the Patriots. And the round table, you included, also picked the Bills. And we're pretty good, obviously, because I think most of us, consensus-wise, throughout the year have picked all of their wins. So as a group, we're 8-3 too. Great job as always, again. Got to thank our sponsors, Aesthetic Associates, Shatkin First, I Smile, Dr. Todd Shatkin, Russell's, our crew, and obviously you at home for watching. Really appreciate it. It's another Thursday night game. Hopefully you can find it on Amazon or locally. I believe it's on Channel 7 here locally, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to watch it there, feel free. But we appreciate the pregame viewing of this show. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
If you would like to be a participant in the Shatkin First Down Huddle, email Mark Aarons at maarons@shatkinfirst.com. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.